Hi everybody. How are you on this fine Saturday evening? Well, we were just poodling about, doing what you do when you poodle about. Burgers, chips, Mark was doing his workout, and suddenly I thought, wow, there's a big statement coming in from Sky, because everybody seemed very excited at Sky. And I thought, oh, they're just banging on. Hi, Lior.
Hi, Sophie.
Hi, Sophie. Hi, Gabrielle. They're just banging on about
Kim.
the Royals again. But because I would never expected that there would be a big statement. We'll wait till there's more people with us to explain what the statement is on a Saturday. But do you think they do that because there's not a lot of other news, and so they would want the news to be top of this? I don't know why I would have thought of it.
They'd want to avoid being the news, wouldn't they?
Well, no, but they want the news to go out. I mean, the news
if I'm honest, I don't think there's even any consideration around that. I just think Harry and Meghan are strangely the most impatient couple I've ever known on the planet.
Well, actually, a royal expert was just saying that none of this would have had to have been played out in public if they hadn't made that Instagram post.
Seems very strange.
This all could have been done, and they said what could have happened was that the palace, the Queen, could have announced, we've been having meetings.
Yeah.
Our adored grandson and his beautiful new wife are leaving the dirt. Done. The way it's been done this way around is a bloody joke, and it's been so badly managed.
But I think it's been badly managed by them.
By them.
I mean, I'm of the opinion that they have every right to do whatever they want, so I'm not disputing whether they can be royal or not. Although I have to confess, as I was running around just back there, I just thought to myself, it does seem a bit strange that in the future, when we have King William, his brother isn't a member of the royal family.
Well, he is going to still be called Prince Harry.
No, but he's not going to be Your Highness.
No.
How can the brother of the King of England not be Your Highness?
I know, it's
I mean, if anyone's going to be Your Highness, it's going to be your brother of the King.
But for people just joining us, they might not even know this. So the Queen has released a statement, and it's very, very warm, and it's very much a grandmother talking about her son and her grandson and his new wife.
She talks very fondly of Meghan.
And very fondly of Meghan, but she's also very boundaried, you know. Do you want to read it out, Mark?
It's following many months of conversations and more recent discussions. I'm pleased that together we found a constructive and supportive way for my grandson and his family. Harry, Meghan and Archie will always be much loved members of my family. I recognise the challenges they've experienced as a result of intense scrutiny over the last 2 years and support their wish for a more independent life. I want to thank them for their dedicated work across the country, the Commonwealth and beyond. This line I find interesting, and I'm particularly proud of how Meghan has so quickly become one of the family. Now, that's there for one of two reasons. Either she feels it, in which case it's good, but we know that those sort of flurries of emotional warmth and expression aren't naturally the Queen after Diana. I feel that's been suggested to be put in there to try and quash any potential for future accusations of rift and all that kind of stuff.
But the last line is, my whole family's hope that today's agreement allows them to start building a happy and peaceful new life.
Kind of letter I'd like
now,
from him now.
This letter would have been lovely with us knowing nothing about all the ramifications.
Yeah.
Madness the way that they did it, absolute madness, both of them.
Yeah.
I think, now the fact that HRH has been taken, because I think they wanted to keep their hand in with the royal family, but she said very clearly here, we were just listening to a royal expert, that the Queen is saying very, very clearly here, this isn't a job you muck about with. You're either in or you're out. But with love, she said that. You know, she said you can't have the privileges, because it is an enormous privilege to be, obviously it has its huge challenges being a member of the royal family, but it is a massive privilege, and it's like you can't have both things. That's what
Sandra Marshall's suggesting that he can still be HRH, because the term I'm hearing being reported a lot is that the term His Royal Highness is being placed into abeyance. So he's so that it can be pulled back in. So it's being essentially be put in a really old cupboard at the top of Buckingham Palace. And if they need to dust it off, now that is intriguing in itself.
That's very intriguing.
Because what are they suggesting there?
Well, I think that she's a 93-year-old woman, and she knows that things can go tits up.
Apart from her
maybe
marriage.
You know, I mean, the thing is, he's going away from all his family. I think the thing that's going to be terribly difficult for him is all his military status has been stripped, and all his military. Now we know that the military is hugely important to him. Up until 2 years ago, he was very, very close with his brother. You know, you rarely saw one without the other. So he's not going to see his brother. He's the favourite grandson, so he won't be with his grandmother. And so you know, we know that you know, emigrating is a huge thing, and to be taken away from everything, or to choose, I'm not saying taken away, to choose to leave everything, it doesn't always go according to plan. I used to do a show years ago called Wanted Down Under, where it'd be people that would emigrate out to Australia, and I think at least 50% of them would end up coming back.
Now,
and so I suppose she's allowing for that. The really big news for me is really big news as well, is that they are going to repay the £2.5 million of public money that was spent on renovating the house.
It's funny how much people get a bee in their bonnet about that, because admittedly it's a lot of money to any individual person, 2.5 million or whatever it was, 3.5 million. Admittedly, it's a lot of money to most people, but when people say, are we going to get that back in our tax, you're going to probably get 0.000000003 pence.
That's interesting. Kirsty Kate says, I don't think they should have to pay it back.
I just think I think it's a red herring. It's just a red herring.
No, I don't think it's a red herring, because I think what they're doing is they're trying to say that they recognise that this has upset where the royal family has always gone wrong in the past. It was like when the Queen didn't make a statement after Princess Diana died, and people really turned against the royal family. They're saying, we hear that this is something that sticks in people's throats, and we're going to pay it back.
No,
so though it's just a nominal, really, in the big sea of things, I think it's actually a really good move.
Yeah, I haven't explained myself clearly. I think it's good that they're paying it back, but I think to get one's sort of knickers in a twist about it is the wrong. I just don't think it. I don't think it matters beyond the fact that if they're doing it, then that's lovely and that's great. It's not going to make the blindest bit of practical difference to this country's wealth or welfare if they pay Frogmore back. A lot of people are suggesting she's been run out of town, Meghan, and you know, I mean, it's a tricky one, this, isn't it? Because I suppose you can have, you know, you can have negative feelings about absolutely anyone, regardless of their colour, cultural origins, wealth, whatever you want. I would say there's far more. I can't even get involved in the nuanced arguments about whether there's. I don't think there's been that much overt racism, though there has been some. But equally, I think there's been as much classism. I think a lot of people are really pissed off that someone's leapt out of the relatively normal world of being an American. I think there's a lot of cultural prejudice about her being American, because we have history with, what's her name, Wallis Simpson and all of that. There's a sort of sense.
More than anything, yeah. I think the biggest problem for her has been
Americanism.
Being very American, and I think people have, it's been more of a snooty thing.
It really has.
Don't come in here and tell us that you're not going to make an announcement of the baby. Don't tell us that you're not going to tell us where you've had the baby. Don't wear a £57,000 dress for your engagement photos. And that was all the stuff that pissed people off. I actually take real umbrage that we are now all being told that we are a racist nation. We are not. We are a very multicultural nation. And obviously, there are many, many people in every single country in the world that are racist. But I think it can be inverted racism to disallow any
I totally agree.
any debate.
I think you can have a negative feeling about Meghan Markle without it being racist. That's what I'd like to say.
But there certainly will be people that have been racist.
Of course there are.
There's certainly people that have been sexist. There's certainly people that will have been anti-American. But when you look through all the women that have come into the royal family, every one of them has had to put up with terrible treatment at some point or the other by the press.
Vicky Taylor here says the Queen has been too harsh. That's interesting, because they're talking about it on the news as seismic, cataclysmic.
Massive.
I mean, I've never heard the word cataclysmic, even about planetary, environmental disasters. I don't hear cataclysmic. I mean, that's quite long.
That's interesting. Look, from Suzanne Stone.
So I was just in the middle of Vicky Taylor. The monarchy needs to come into the 21st century. Why is Andrew getting away with everything? I don't think he has really got away with anything.
No, he hasn't. He's been stripped of everything.
But she is punishing Harry for protecting his family. I don't think she's necessarily punishing him. I think she's letting him go.
I think she's been thrown an absolute shock of a statement a week ago, and everything that's apparently, it's all been very civilised, all the discussions. She's found a way to let him go. I don't think she's been harsh. I think she's been harsh with Andrew. I think she did everything he's been stripped of everything.
He hasn't lost his HRH.
Oh, hasn't he?
No.
Oh, that's
Which is a good
interesting.
point.
So he
It's a
could
good
still
point.
represent the Queen.
He still can,
But
he's not going
Harry
to.
can't. No, he won't. But he
No.
still could. There's somebody there saying, what was that? Where was that? Was something interesting? Somebody was saying, there you go. You see, her family maybe were right about her. I don't agree
So whose
necessarily.
family are right about who?
Meghan's family. But
Right.
what I do want to say on that is, there's been an awful lot said about how brutal the British public have been and the press.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen anyone as brutal as her own family, to be honest.
That's interesting.
Up until her sister came here and started going on every single show and every single newspaper.
Yeah.
We actually, there was a love-in going on with Meghan Markle. Do you remember?
Yeah, there was.
There was
There was the Markle Sparkle.
Yeah, there was a twist at £57,000 for an engagement dress, because just before that they had done a big speech on how much they wanted to do for charity and how they want. And I think it just sort of stuck in people's throat that you would wear how can you even spend £57,000?
I mean, I think the problem, and also the problem is, for as many headlines you can find critical of Meghan, there are those that were positive. The Sparkle, what was it? The Markle Sparkle. There were as many that were as critical of, can't never get the names right, Catherine. What's William's wife's name? Catherine. Yeah, there were some saying she was plain Jane and didn't make, I mean, so there's pejorative. I mean, the press will be the press, but here's my take on all of this. I think there's a dangerous feeling amongst the Sussex's household, I fear, that this will be the end of it. And this will actually be the beginning of it.
I feel sorry for
I think
them.
yeah.
Because I think they're going to have more press attention than they ever could have imagined. I mean, it rings so similar to what Diana did. I mean, don't forget, Diana had said, I'm going off for a private life with Dodie when she was so tragically killed.
Rebecca Chalmers, all of this has made me respect and value the Queen even more than I already did. Such a dignified lady. I think she's
Let's not forget, she's 93.
Yeah,
She's
can I just
driving
say-
a car around and
I know.
holding summit meetings.
Her husband's rolling cars, getting out of them.
Oh, my God.
But I think she has dealt with this impeccably.
Yeah, I
Personally,
do.
I
I mean,
think
publicly, of course, we don't know what she's been like behind closed doors.
I bet she's smashing them around the face with a tiara.
don't know.
I bet she's setting the corgis on them. Seek! Do you think?
Oh, this is interesting. Kat, what's more apparent to me is that it looks like the British people are mourning the loss of Harry. And do you know what?
Very true.
I think that. I think that
point,
we
Kat.
did really, when we remember the mourning across the nation for his mother. This might sound a bit overdramatic, but I think we did almost hold both those boys to our hearts.
Oh,
we were
God,
very
absolutely.
protective of them.
As a nation, yeah.
And he is absolutely adored, Harry, by
Yeah.
the country. I mean, he is adored.
Yeah.
And I've told this story before, but I'm
remember when
going to
we
tell
were
it
right
again.
next to him?
We were in LA once having lunch. If you've just joined us, guys, I know there's some new people I can see there. Please hit the subscribe button. We do so many different types of content on this channel.
Just there.
And we
Just there.
every day we upload all sorts of videos and films of all sorts of things. So welcome if you've just joined
And
us.
I'm cracking out with a Pepsi Max. Say it.
I think
We
that
were in a bar.
we were in a restaurant, and sorry for the regulars that have heard this story before. Basically, cut a long story short, Harry came in with a big group of his friends, and we just sat and watched him for an hour. The pizza went cold.
I was
The
facing him
pizza
eye to eye.
Went cold because we just watched him because
Yeah.
we couldn't help it, and he was. You can only describe him as a sort of
Class.
lovable puppy, like a Labrador.
Just like a Labrador.
He'd obviously just come from the beach. This is way before Meghan. And he was just, a really, really sweet, jolly boy. I'm going to say
He was
this.
very jolly because he'd been to Vegas and they'd been to some strip joint, hadn't he?
Yeah,
He was
'cause
having
we
a-
saw
he was
him
having
get,
a-
we saw it, him,
He was having a cracking
we
time.
saw the private, oh God, we saw the whole
private
thing.
entourage.
Yeah, as the story broke about his, but even that poor boy, I mean, he was only on holiday, wasn't he, doing whatever.
Cynthia Siphon, I'm afraid I'm going to have to silence you because you're talking absolute drivel now. Go on.
Oh, yeah, it's
I
just
mean, it's just ridiculous.
All right, goodbye. We don't need to speak about it. Yeah, and he was just a really lovable puppy. This is what I think. When I see them together, I don't really see any sexual chemistry. I think he's a really sweet, lovable boy.
You don't think she fancies him?
But I think, no, not so much that, but there just doesn't seem much chemistry. I think she's smarter than him.
Yeah.
She's sexier than him.
Yeah.
She's older than him.
Yeah. A
And
bit like
she's-
you and me you're describing now, isn't it, really?
And she's had more of a, she's lived a life of a famous actress, and I just worry.
Ish.
I think she believes. I just worry that they won't make it. With all the pressures of being hounded and followed and all that, I don't think they'll make it.
Do you know what they need to do?
Kelly Manley.
Do you know what they need to do? They need to watch How to Stay Married so far.
They do.
That's what they need to do.
Kelly Manley. Remember Kate had topless photos taken by the press and put in all the papers. I'd forgotten about that. Yeah, and Prince William, they had to sue, didn't they?
Bit like
do you remember?
Yes.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Do you remember Sophie, married to Prince Edward? My God, they treated her appallingly.
Wasn't she seen with her toes out?
No, that was Fergie.
Fergie was sucking toes, wasn't she?
Why? Yeah.
Massaging toes. Into weird things,
Anthony
aren't they, Ross?
Kirwan, the British people just don't want to let Harry go. They had to let Diana go when she died. I think we, the British public, think we own William and Harry. They're human. It's sad, but let them go. Absolutely.
I agree.
I think that they're young people of the modern world, and I suspect they've looked at it all and gone, oh my God, what is the point of all of this?
Yeah.
Where, for me, they've gone terribly wrong is that they announced it on Instagram without the Queen knowing first. And I just think that was disrespectful. And I think a lot of people think that.
Do you think Harry's a bit of a puppy dog?
What do you mean?
Do you think he's so desperate for what happened to his mum not to happen again? I'm just going to calm things down a little bit now and turn the lights down. Do you think he could become a bit of a walkover with her? My fear is that she could walk all over him because he's a vulnerable little chap.
What are you talking about?
Harry, I'm worried that he's going to be taken advantage of because he's worried about the history and legacy of his mum.
I don't know.
That he could end up being taken advantage of.
I don't know. I don't know
And
about that.
because he's our collective societal son, we're all a bit protective of him. Yeah, what do you think, guys, about the line popped in that letter by the Queen about Meghan? Think that's the real deal? I hope so. I'm all for the happiness. I genuinely want them to be happy, but I just think it's a misnomer to think you do it this publicly and then all the interests are going to go away. Because I tell you what, there's going to be a huge price on that first photo of when they're not officially HRHs.
I know.
Huge price for the paparazzi.
I know. Somebody was saying there they just can't believe all the deals that have been done beforehand. But
Didn't he pitch for a Disney voiceover in front of someone? Did I
yes.
hear this?
It was
Venus?
taken down. It was taken down off the internet, and that will have been the enormous power of the royal family would have got that taken down.
It's embarrassing.
So basically, they were on the red carpet for a Disney film, and Mike, you're never alone with the microphone. It was picked up on Harry's microphone.
Did you say it to Bob
saying
Iger,
the head of
Disney?
Yeah, you do know she's available for voiceovers for a Disney film.
And Bob Iger's no fool. He'll have just said,
See,
Yeah.
I saw that written and I thought it was a meme. I thought somebody had put a voice on it. Then I got into work and everyone was going, no, it was real. But by that time it'd been taken down.
someone's just asking, what do you think of the alleged breakup of the relationship between Harry and William? That's Mike Nolan.
I mean,
Mike.
the thing is,
Good name, Mike Nolan.
They both said that there are problems. Harry has said, I love my brother, I'll always love my brother, but we're on very different paths. Things aren't as the way they were. William has said, I was always able to put my arm around my brother and I can't anymore. So there's definitely some sort of breakdown, but that's not always bad.
No.
It could be that maybe they've just really found their way and they're just like living their lives. We don't know.
Kirsty Walker-Ryan makes a really valid point. Any film that Meghan does will make huge money automatically, which is why I'm about to go in the other room and phone her agent. Now. No, you're absolutely right. It's a very good point. That's why I'm surprised he went for a voiceover of a Disney film, a wildlife film.
But maybe that was the beginning of her. I mean, I remember saying early on when they got together, I thought she's not going to be happy not being an actress. And apparently there's been a lot said about within royal correspondence, because I've been listening to everybody today, saying that they... and of course, this is all supposition, they can't know this, that they actually found it very difficult, Harry and Meghan, taking, because they will take second, third, fourth place behind Prince Andrew, behind Prince William, so that
What, when queuing at the buffet? What are you talking about?
anything, in order of,
Yeah.
power within the royal
see.
family. Now, if they, now as they retire, abdicate, they're calling it an abdication.
They're calling it an
actually,
abdication. That's how serious it is, Americans.
That's a big deal here.
That's a big deal here.
That's a really big deal.
We haven't heard those words in a long time.
Because there's an abdication, and last time it was an American involved. Because there's an abdication, they can now be global superstars, unfettered global superstars, which they wouldn't have done.
They're going to make a
They can do
fortune.
whatever. They're going to be so.
They're going to be so rich. Taina Smullen, we have so done Prince Andrew. You just have to go elsewhere on the channel and find it. We ain't highlighting this above Andrew. No way, no how.
Oh my God,
But here's
Andrew.
the thing: we have
Don't
done.
even
We
talk
have
to me about Andrew.
done Andrew like a sweaty sausage. Sorry. Can I just say, in the godforsaken awful thing, because there is a lineage to the throne in our royal family, and I'm only saying this as a hypothetical. I'm not being grim or gloomy, but if something awful were to happen to Prince William and his family, say, in one fell swoop, because I don't know if anyone knows abroad that no one in the royal family, certain members of the royal family in lineage to the throne, cannot travel in the air at the same time. There always has to be someone on the ground in a safe place so that the lineage of the throne is not under threat. It's quite true. So they will never all travel together. But say something awful did happen and Harry's lineage came up, would he take the throne in his current status? Is he now removed as from his, say he's number 5 in line to the throne?
Well, he can no longer represent the Queen,
but if he's no
which
longer
must mean he can no longer
be king.
represent, yeah.
Is he still in line to the throne?
But then maybe that's why the HRH has just been put on the back, but it's been put in the freezer. It's in the deep freeze.
Because, I mean, say Prince William decides, right, okay, just stick with me, guys. Say Prince William and Catherine decide to go all hippie.
Yeah.
They go to a commune, they go to Coachella one year and they go,
Yeah.
you know what, I've had enough of this shit. I want to hang out, I just want to chill with the kids. Let's go and buy a little kind of beachside shack in Goa and let's sell prawns, right? So Prince William's sorted, he's got a new career.
Yeah.
Harry's left holding
Jenny.
the baby. Harry's left holding the baby and the Queen and the throne. Is he entitled? I don't mean whether he takes it, because he'll be busy doing other shit, but is he entitled to take it?
I don't know, but it's a good question. And I suspect
Thanks,
that's
Canal
why...
Pisky. It is a
Oh,
good
look at
question,
this.
isn't it?
That's very interesting, Angela Porisky. The Friday video of Meghan on Friday at the Victoria Airport
Is a
a
lie.
lie. The video has no snow and there are Christmas decorations. We've had blizzards all week and those decorations have been removed.
What are you saying?
Is that true? Really?
What
Do you
are
want to
you
plug this in, Mum?
saying?
Wow.
What are you
Wow.
saying?
Well, she's saying that it was taken from some other time.
Oh my God, so there's all sorts of untoward shit going on. Excuse me, guys. Just plugging you in because you're about to go down. That's weird. Why would they do that? Oh, I see, because they want to sort of prove that she's kind of not so... Go look at our Vancouver Island news.
No, because George would be king. HB.
No, that's
but
my
Mark's saying,
point.
Mark's saying in the awful situation that everybody went down, like
Yeah.
for a family from some awful. Could he? Yes, and I think he could because HRH is.
That's why it's
It's
only in
on the
abeyance.
house. If he was the only blood relative left of the royal family, he would take over.
He would have to clamber out of the hole, the crater, with his sword aloft, Prince Hal, and saying once more onto the breach.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I really like Harry. I think all this stuff around mental health, I think he's a really gentle soul.
Yes, jokes, joined late. Has the HRH been stripped? It has.
Yes.
And just to give you an update, HRH stripped. They're paying $2.5 million back to public money for the renovations of Frogmore. They will no longer be able to represent the Queen. Harry has also, I don't know really what it means, but all his military something or other he's lost. What would that be? It wouldn't be...
No, that's him. He's, you know how regiments and what have you, he's the head of certain regiments.
Oh, right. That's
I'd have
all
thought that would hurt,
That would be
actually.
the worst thing for him.
I think that would
reckon,
hurt, because he's
a real military
He's
man.
a military bod, and he's plugged
And
into
apparently,
that. The mental side of it as well.
I think what will hurt him the most, apparently, people even that he served with in the military are horrified. Because don't forget, the military is all about the Queen. And so, like, close people to him, apparently, this is what I've read, within the army are horrified at the disrespect to the Queen. And that will hurt him a lot, I think.
Someone was just asking then, do you think they'll become more private or do you think they'll become more public?
Much more public. I think they're about to be global superstars. I think they'll be like, you know, George Clooney and Amal Clooney. They'll be that set.
Okay.
They'll be that set.
Yeah. Yeah. But if they seek too much public attention, I mean, really, they're never going to be able to remove the way they dealt with this. I think this is going to fester like a scab.
I think it will be really hard for him. I think it won't be as hard for her because it's not her family that she's left, and it's not the her traditions that she's left. I mean, when you think about how much the royal family is steeped in tradition, my God.
Look, Rabbi Law 31R1 says Princess Di's ex, Dodi Al-Fayed's family have offered to support Prince Harry.
Oh. In what
So it's
way?
like, financially, I guess, with security, maybe.
Oh, thank you, Jason.
yeah,
Look,
what
off topic,
about-
I want to thank you both for the amazing content that you put out every day. We love tuning in. Thank you, Jason. And if you're new, listen to Jason and
Minas.
subscribe to the channel because we do put out so much stuff.
We love you.
This here tonight isn't typical of our.
No, I've got to get on and edit a vlog.
We respond to big news stories,
Yeah.
but we do all sorts of stuff. So have a little scoot around our channel and see what you think.
Harry can work as Oprah's personal assistant.
Well, those are the. This is a
What's
big
the
thing in
rumour?
this statement. Is that and the various royal correspondents that have been talking on the news this evening have been saying that the palace are at absolute pains to keep reassuring all the royal correspondents that Prince Harry and Meghan are going to respect the royal family, something to do with the way that basically underneath they're not going to be going and selling stories and doing big interviews.
Right,
Basically,
okay.
that's what it said. Now I wonder if they have had to sign Meghan a non-disclosure
Oh.
because
I'm pretty
the
certain they will
royal
have done.
family is a business,
Yeah.
and I'm sure because they must have learned from previous mistakes that. To get that tied up, so even after a divorce, she can't talk about the royal family or slag the royal family or do a big interview. They should have done that with Prince Andrew. Mind you, I'm so glad they did because we all saw exactly what he was.
Yeah.
Dirty snake.
Absolutely. Well, there you go.
Yeah,
There you go. What will happen to Invictus? Good question. It's his baby. That's his baby.
yeah.
I mean, it really is the Invictus Games.
Yeah,
Is his
the
baby.
Invictus Games is his baby.
Samantha Coleman, you've just caught us live and we're just about to stop. Sorry, but we will give a shout out to Poppy. Hello, Poppy.
Hi, Poppy. But first of all, guys, just to say to you, tonight there's a vlog going up. Tomorrow night there's a vlog going up. We're going to do probably a showbiz tomorrow as well on this channel.
Wow.
And of course, on the members channel, there'll be the Sunday show at 11:30. So there's loads going on in the channel. Please, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Hit the notification bell because, as we say, we do so much surprise content. I might even do a bit of a live with Love Island later. Not the whole show, but I might do a bit. So make sure you've hit the notification bell so you know.
Can I just quote Joe McKenna, which I think is a really nice comment going up? Imagine being born into a situation that is essentially mental torture every day and everyone judging you when you decide to walk away. Live and let live, in my view. I agree.
Exactly.
I think it's too easy to judge people who have wealth and money as thinking they are not human and not impacted by these things. And then unfortunately, if you do think that, you're probably the kind of person who loves it when they fall from grace and have their lives torn apart. That's not actually
I've got
what
no
being a
problem
human is about, is it?
with them
surely?
wanting to leave. I
No,
just
I
wish they hadn't announced it on Instagram before the deal was cut, because here we go again. We're being seen as a racist nation. We're being seen, and we're not. We're really not. The majority of us are pretty lovely.
Jason Minas, if I pronounced it correctly, has just become my favourite friend. Your channel is seriously better than TV.
Yay!
We
Woohoo!
try to bring our experience of TV and splurge it out for you. There you go. That's a rather horrendous image, but there we go. All right, my
Hit the
lovelies.
notification bell, guys, otherwise
Take
you won't
care.
know when we go live.
You won't know when we go
Bye.
live. Vlog landing later. Bye.
Bye.